farmers, welcome to yet another episode of Kilimo Diaries here on TV 47. My name is Sheila Chelangat. Now remember, last week we harvested honey successfully. So what happens next is processing. So today we will be delving into honey processing and how to enhance its quality. And of course, who will be taking us through is Mr. Delvis Mwendwa of Bee Care Apiaries. So what are you waiting for? Twende. Right, so this is where now honey comes right after harvesting.
Yes. So first, what we usually do, we first separate the honey together in the combs, in the separating tank, and then now we get the honey separate and the beeswax separate. So here we have honey. So now this is the honey that we harvested.
That is natural honey.
Yes, yes.
That has not been processed.
Yes, as you can see, the flow is constant. The color is good. It's amber in color, so good color. So we got really good honey. Okay. So now from here, what we'll do now, we take it to the filtering tank. Okay. So from the filtering tank, now I think now we can go to the filtering tank.
And all of them look like this?
Yes,
all
yes,
these
yes,
buckets?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Yeah, so from here, now we take them to the filtering tank.
And for how long have they been standing here settling?
So for this one, I maintain them for you. So they have been here for like now 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Since we harvested.
All right. And so, why is it important to let the honey settle down first before you start the process?
It helps in the separation. So because you see honey is thick, once you put them in buckets, the honey will go, because it's thicker, it will go down. But now the bee parts that will be on the honey will float together with the combs that are remaining.
Okay. Is there a bucket that we can see the ones that have floated up? Zote by now you have already separated.
Yes, but, on this one, if you zoom closer, you'll see bees on top. You see?
Oh, this one, yeah, the bees.
Yes. I don't know if you can see the bees on top. Even on this one, now this one is coming. Bees, of which now we are going to filter them in the next tank that we are going.
Okay. Yeah. So take me through the process now after here.
Yes.
And I see there's many tanks.
Yeah,
so
many tank. So each tank has its own essence. So from this tank, if you can zoom on this tank, you can see it has a filter.
It has a filter, yes.
On top, a stainless. It's made of stainless steel. So this is the filter. So the purpose of this first tank is to first remove the big parts, the big parts, the combs that have passed, and before you go to the next filtering machine. Okay. So if you can go for me,
all right. Do I need to help you?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. So that's how it happens.
Now from the first filtering machine where we filtering tank, where we now separated the big parts, the big parts, the comb parts, now the bigger parts, now we filter them out. Now we pump them to the holding tank. So this is the holding tank. This holding tank has a capacity of 3 tons. So you first put them in the holding tank, and from the holding tank, we bring them down to the second filtering machine. This one.
What happens at the holding tank?
So it's basically a storage tank.
It's a storage tank.
It's a storage tank for the honey. So that we pump it to the filtering machine, and then we take them to the settling tank. So this is just a holding tank for the honey that we've now done the first filtering, that will remove the bee parts that were in the honey. The bee parts, the big particles of combs now have come off from that filter. So now we come to the honey filtering machine now.
Now this is where the filtering will happen.
Now this is where the actual filtering will happen. So on this one, so we pump the honey from the holding tank to this tank.
Yes.
This is also a tank. So the tank has a water jacket around. So with the water jacket around, that's the tank for the water. So the water is heated by electric power. And now the water is now what hits the honey.
Okay.
So we don't.
So there's no direct. Okay.
You're not supposed to hit honey directly. So we heat it up to a temperature of 35 degrees the honey. And the main purpose for heating it is for it to be more, for it thick, for it to be able to flow easily, so that it can pass through the filter. So our machine has 2 filters, this one and this one. So these 2 parts are both, they have filters inside. So it has compressed air. So the compressed air pushes the honey to come to this filter, where the smaller particles are removed. And now when it comes to this one, even the smallest finest particle are removed at this stage. Okay. So from here, from this filter now, we get like pure honey that doesn't have any particles, no nothing. All particles now from this stage are eliminated.
Okay. So after this?
So from here, now we take them to the settling tanks.
The settling tanks.
You can see you have settling tanks which are labeled. You have tank C, tank B, tank E, tank F. Each one of them has a capacity of 1 ton. So what is, as you can see on this date, it takes 7, once we pump honey to this tank, it takes 7 days before we take it to the packing tank. So the purpose for the settling tank is for the, any scum, scum to come on top, that will be able to scoop it, and now it's pure honey at the bottom. So it settles for 7 days. So it gives it enough time to cook, because you see we heated it as well.
Yes. All right. So from the settling tanks, we move on.
So all these are settling tanks. Now we move to the big tank over there.
Yes.
Now that's the packing tank. So from the packing tank, now we use this pump to pump the honey to the honey tank, honey holding tank on top there. And then now with the honey holding tank, now we bring it to the packing machine.
Okay, and then now, can we try and pack?
Pack, yes. I'll just show you an example of how it packs. So it's easy that way.
So technically, once honey comes in to the time it is packed, how long does it take, the average time it takes?
It takes, once it's here, it will take a minimum of 7 days.
7 days before it's packed.
A minimum of 7 days. Before it's packed.
Okay.
Yes,
okay. Yes. And once now you have packed, where do you store them?
Once we've packed now, they do the sealing. They put the lid. They do the labeling. They do the sealing. And then we pack them in boxes and sell it to the market. So we are in the retail market. We sell them to Delvis, Carrefour.
Okay.
Yes.
So honey does not require probably refrigerators.
No, actually refrigerators will not be nice for honey, because you see, once honey is in a cold environment, it will crystallize faster. So actually it's not advised to keep your honey in refrigerator, because it will crystallize faster. It will make even it's not that it's bad honey. Just crystallization is a natural process for honey. But crystallization should occur from bottom going upwards, and it should be in form of small crystals. It should not be in lumps.
All right. So this is now the large-scale way of processing honey.
Yes.
If someone, how then does it differ from the small-scale way of processing honey?
With a small-scale farmer, they don't use a lot of this, all this equipment.
Yes.
For them, they just need something that we call a conical sieve, and with a conical sieve and a bucket that's fixed with a honey gate. A honey gate acts as a tap that you can open for you to remove honey and close it. So they just put a sieve on it after they've done the separation of the wax and the honey. So they pour the honey through the conical sieve. Once it passes through, it passes when it's really well filtered, and from there they just pack it into jars. They seal it, they sell it to the market.
And in terms of now here in the large scale, processing and extraction of honey, what are some of the measures that you take to ensure that there's hygiene and that there's no contamination of honey from the moment it arrives here to the moment that it leaves?
From the entry level, there's a procedure of how to wear the aprons, how to do your washing your hands, how we sanitize as we enter. And now once we come here, there are things that we do now to clean our tanks. So for honey, it's good if it's stored in a food grade container that is stainless steel as compared to plastic, as you can see, as how it's done. Then we clean them with hot water frequently. Yes.
All right. And what would you say are some of the mistakes that, small-scale farmers do make when they're handling honey?
You may find farmers who use mosquito nets to sieve the honey, which is not okay, because you see it has permethrin, the mosquito net has chemicals that it is treated with. But what we recommend, they use things that we call muslin cloths. Muslin cloths or the conical sieve to sieve the honey, because that one cannot contaminate the honey. So that has actually been our biggest challenge with our farmers.
Okay.
But now through the trainings, at least now we have been able to change that.
What would you say are some of the equipment that a small-scale farmer who wants to, just do this process at home, what are those equipment that is a must for them to have?
Yeah. So first of all, you must have food-grade buckets, buckets which are food-grade that have the honey gate as well. You must have a conical sieve. A conical sieve is what now they use to filter the honey. Also, you need to have food-grade packaging containers. You'll also need to have a honey warmer. A honey warmer, the purpose of the honey warmer is, honey, once it stays for long, it crystallizes naturally.
Yes.
But the work of the honey warmer is to heat up the honey so that it comes back to its liquid form again. And you also have small settling tanks that are made of stainless steel that fit even 30 kilos, 50 kilos, which are food grade for storage for honey.
Okay. Would you say that there can be over-processing of honey?
Over-processing of honey happens especially on the heating part. So on the heating part is I told you, for us, you don't go above 35 degrees. When you go above that, when you go to certain temperatures above 45 degrees that way, you kill the nutrients in the honey. So if someone doesn't have a controlled system of heating their honey, you see they heat up their honey to even above the required degrees, of which it will spoil the honey. Yes.
Okay.
And it will now, the enzymes will not, the nutrients will not be same.
And in terms of additives, are there additives that you put in the honey to make it last longer, stay on the shelf longer?
No. You do not add anything to honey. Actually, honey itself, it's a preservative.
In terms of shelf life, does poor processing affect shelf life of honey? Can honey go bad?
So no, honey doesn't go bad.
At all? It
doesn't go, not unless it's adulterated honey. But honey itself, it can stay for years and years without going bad. What it can do, it can crystallize over time. Naturally, honey should even stay for years and years and years without going bad.
So I'm wondering, what then would be your advice to a farmer to ensure that they, what to take into consideration to ensure that they produce high quality honey like this?
So the major control for the farmers, once they're harvesting, they make sure they harvest mature honey. So do not just go and see there is honey when it's not captured, you harvest. Just ensure you harvest only capped honey.
Okay, you've spoken about moisture content, which is a very important factor, but we will be touching on that right after this short commercial break. Keep it TV47. This is Kilimo Diaries. Welcome back. This is Kilimo Diaries on TV47, and on this episode we are focusing on honey processing and how to enhance its quality. And with me, of course, is Delvis Mwendwa of BeeCare. And just before the break, you touched a little bit on the moisture content. So what is the moisture level that is considered safe?
It should not be above 20. It should range between 17 to 20. That's the honey. The moisture level that's required for honey.
So why is moisture content something that I should consider before purchasing honey?
When the moisture levels are high, it means the honey will ferment quicker. Because when moisture is high, it means things like yeast, will grow faster, and it will lead to fermentation.
Now, in terms of checking it, how do farmers do it, and how can I do it also, who is purchasing that honey?
We've had equipments that we sell to our farmers that are called refractometers. They're just portable, small machines called refractometers. So what the refractometers do, they measure the moisture level. They have a screen whereby you put the honey, you spread the honey on the screen, and on the other side it has a reading whereby you can see the moisture level, and you can determine whether the honey is okay for selling or it's not okay for selling.
And once now honey is here at the factory, how do you check for the moisture content?
So we also use the same refractometers, but use a digital refractometer just as a basics to check the moisture level. But we also take to labs. We take to National Beekeeping Station. We take to ANA labs, whereby they do the whole lab analysis, and they give us a report on the the contents of the honey to see whether all parameters are in check.
Have been checked.
Yeah.
How do I know that my honey is fermenting? Probably from the high moisture content.
Mostly notice through the scent. Mostly, you'll notice it has like a very a different scent as compared to how normal honey should smell.
So definitely a high moisture content will affect the shelf life of the honey.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's get to packaging. Yes. I know you mentioned that you're using safe packagings, but where do farmers go wrong? What material are they using that then you tell them, you've gone wrong here in terms of packaging?
So in terms of packaging, I would say at the farmer level, when you are buying from the honey, you see we are not buying them as in jars like this one. We buy them when they're in buckets. So in packaging, what we do with our farmers, we offer them food grade buckets to put their honey in. Sometimes you may find a farmer with a bucket which was used initially for paint. They just clean it. They think it's clean, and now they put the honey there and they bring it to you. But once they bring it to us with a container that's clearly written a paint brand, we know it had honey inside. We know we cannot, because the packaging is not food grade. It was used to pack something like paint or any other thing. So the key thing is they ensure they use food grade buckets when they are putting the honey.
And while they're doing that packaging, what are the hygienic measures that they should put in place?
You should transport them in an enclosed vehicle, or if not in an enclosed vehicle, the packaging that how they are packed, they should be really enclosed in a way that no dust can enter, nothing can enter, no particle can enter on the way. Where you come to store your jars before you do the packing, it should be also in a very clean place, a tidy place, whereby there is no dust cannot enter or any other foreign items. And also when you are packaging, you should ensure there is no honey contact with you when you're packing the honey contact with the honey when you're packing it.
Yes. What would be your advice to that person who now wants to get into honey processing, even packaging? What should they do? What are the mistakes maybe you all made and you've learned from it that they can then learn from it?
So the first mistake, for example, if you are a processor and you're buying from farmers, so first of all, you need to know what to check when you're buying from farmers, the parameters to check so that you do not buy adulterated honey. So another thing they should check is how you should do the harvesting. And also, if now you are aspiring to be a beekeeper and be producing your own honey, you need to do things like to know things like proper management of your beehive, how to do the siting, how to know how many beehives you can accommodate in this type of land, this space of land. So just if you want to start with beekeeping, don't first start going with producing the honey. First start with learning about it. So you can visit an institution like us who will do this and get to learn from us. So I'll say the most important thing is knowledge on how to do it first. Don't first jump into it without the knowledge of how to do it.
Now, these ones have been packaged. Where will they be stored before they are sold? And what do you advise? Where should someone store them?
What we do, we usually put them in boxes. So we pack them. Now from here, they'll go straight to the sealing, whereby they do the security seal here on top. They go to the coding where we put the manufacturing date, the batch number, and now we pack them in boxes and we send it to the market now.
Okay. Is there a specific temperatures, humidity that they should be stored at?
Room temperature.
Room temperature. Okay. Let's go beyond now the honey. Of course, there's also the beeswax that come with the honey. So what first is that and how is that even extracted? So
what usually happens from the combs, you rinse them, you melt them, you do the filtering you melt them in a water bath, you melt the combs in a water bath. So when in a water bath, but you mix the combs together with the water when you're heating. Because you see, wax is like oil, so it won't mix with the water. So from there, see now it has boiled, it has mixed up. You take a sieve, you pour the contents there. Now the mixture of water, the combs and the beeswax. So once you sieve it, what will pass is beeswax and water. So you put it in another container. Once it solidifies, beeswax will be on top, but water will be on the bottom. So, but that's how we get it from farmer. We train our farmers to do that. For us, we don't do that. So for us, we empower our farmers to do that because now it even gives them more value of the product. Instead of selling combs which are low value, so we also trained our farmers to do value addition to that point so that they also get good prices for their beeswax.
Can you collect beeswax without collecting the honey? And
no,
is that
they
possible?
They have to go hand in hand.
Ah.
Yes, you can collect because you see, you've trained the farmers to separate, but for it to be a good market and a sustainable market, it's better when you buy both of them, so that you do not buy beeswax from your farmers and they have honey that is left there, they don't know where to sell it. So for us, as you've seen, we have a honey processing facility, we have a beeswax processing facility, and also to mention, all our products are traceable to the farmer level, because you see, you have registered farmers. So by the time even you're buying from our farmers, we are able to do the batching. So to know these farmers, they're from which region? Are they from Chemolingot area? Are they from Kapkukui area? Are they from Chepareria area? So we have a full traceability system of where our products come from. So that if anyone, if this jar of honey has an issue, I can tell you where it was sourced and we can be able to trace back to the root cause of the problem.
And for beeswax now, once now it has separated from the water, what next? Is there another process in processing it?
Now that's where we come in now. So we buy from our farmers at that state, we bring it to our facility, whereby we do the melting in the hemi tanks. So we also don't heat wax directly. We use oil, thermal oil, to heat so it has the tanks have a oil jacket all around. So what is heated is the oil is heated through electric power, and the oil heats up the beeswax. So once it has melted, because you see it's still in block form, so you have first to melt it before we take it to the next filtration process. So we first melt it in the first tank, we take it to the hemi tank for if we want to do the bleaching, whereby we do the bleaching, because for some customers, they will want beeswax that is bleached. For others, they won't want beeswax that is bleached.
Okay.
And then now we take it to the leaf filter machine, whereby we filter the beeswax further, so that once the beeswax is out of the leaf filter, there's even no small particle that had remained at the farmer level that is there. So we more purify it and filter it to a better and more industrial. We make it fit for industrial use.
Now, we are talking about beeswax and people are wondering, sasa hiyo inatumika wapi? What is it for? Yes.
So beeswax has many uses. So first of all, it is in pharmaceutical companies, in capsules and all that. It's also used mostly also by the cosmetic companies. Actually, the cosmetic companies are our biggest purchasers because they use it to make the cosmetics, whether the lip balms, some makeup products which they certify organic. Yes.
Okay, and when you're melting it, are there safety precautions that you take?
Yes. So first of all our staff, we have protective gear for that. So just in case any wax spills on you, we are safe, because you see the human workforce comes first, the ones who are producing the product. And then, as you can see, our system is fully automated, meaning there's no labs, there's nothing that can enter through the process before it gets to the leaf filter. But also we are organic certified by EcoCert. That's an international body that does certification for people who are doing organic. So you have also processes and procedures that we follow in our processing.
Perhaps what now is your parting shot to our viewer who's watching you in terms of now how can they make their product ready for the market in terms of monetary value?
So first of all, I'll say bee products have, the market for bee products is huge and it's growing because people are now moving towards natural things. So I'll say the market is there. What lacks what lacks is the knowledge on how to do it. And through that, I hope you've learned a lot from this. You've gotten at least a snapshot of how people do value addition, how you should, what knowledge you require when you start value addition and things like that. So,
I think,
yeah.
I think my takeaway home is that, the honey process is not really a complex one. It's a very simple one. Once you just know how to handle from the start to the finish, your product would be ready for the market. Yes,
it will be ready. And also it's very simple, even at the farmer level, you just need a bucket, as I mentioned earlier, you just need a conical sieve, you need the honey, you need the food grade packaging jars, and you're ready to go into the market. And you also need now to do the certification, basic certifications like KEBS and all that. So, yes.
All right, asante sana.
Asante sana, Sheila.
Thank you for having us. And I do not know what Masese is waiting for, because this is how we could make money this new year. Of course, it has been lovely to have you guys join us on this episode that we learned about honey processing. Thank you, of course, to you for always watching and keeping it TV47. And thank you to our partners, the Kenya National Farmers Federation. And of course, thank you to the crew. Let's do this every other Sunday at 7:30 p.m. My name is Sheila Chelangat, and this is Kilimo Diaries, a show for the farmer, by the farmer, with the farmers.